Hello and welcome to another Talking Red video with me, Fletch. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the audio. The audio for the review of the Liverpool versus Burnley game, in which Liverpool won 3-1, was meant to go up today, and as in Thursday. And unfortunately, the audio got corrupted or something went wrong with it, but the audio is not playing for me right now, so whatever happened with that has happened. To be fair, didn't really talk about a lot. Basically, if you want to know what I basically talked about, I basically just said pretty much same old Liverpool that we've seen all season, just a little bit better each week kind of thing. That's basically to sum it up in a nutshell. Didn't really miss much. I'm going to try and work out some sort of thing where I will not be losing audio as much. But there is one thing that will kind of lead over from that to talk into this game as well. But I'll get more into that as I discuss team news. So Bournemouth. This is a game that in the past has always thrown up a lot of goals, a lot of incidents, and is always just a great game for neutrals in perspective. In overall, for neutrals, I expect it to be a great game. For Liverpool fans, not always been great to watch. I think last year was great because I think we did the double over them. I think we beat them quite comfortably. I think it was I think the away leg was 4-0 and the home leg was 3-0. I think. I could be wrong, could be gotten them mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that was the case. Many people will point out that at home, Bournemouth are very good, and that is true. We know that especially because of the incredible comeback that they did against us a couple of years ago, where it was like 3-1 till like the final 20 minutes or so, and then they managed to turn it around to 4-3 with Nathan Ake getting that last minute goal. That was the difference maker on that day. So Bournemouth do have the potential to beat us here. I will say about the Burnley game that the Burnley game was obviously one of them games where we don't like to go Burnley away, but even if they are playing as poorly as what they were, Burnley away was still a tough game. But with every game, obviously the anticipation and the risk, it kind of builds. It's like if you're a betting person, and the more you put on one acca, the more teams you put on to win on one acca, the more risk, the higher the reward. Well, this is kind of that thing where the more game, the bigger the reward, but also the bigger the loss. That's the only way I can kind of describe it to you. But what do we know about Bournemouth anyway? Well, Bournemouth this season have been flying high in the Premier League. They've played 15 games like everyone else. They've won 7 of them games. They've drawn 2 and lost 6. But of them 6 games they've lost, they've only recently started losing games like properly. They went through a tricky patch from November right through till this past week actually, where they went 4 games unbeaten, and then they finally ended that losing streak to Huddersfield. They were on the wrong end of some 2-1 losses, and I think City beat them 3-1. But then they redeemed themselves a little this past week when they beat Huddersfield 2-1 on Tuesday night. What do we know about them? They've got some good players. They're quick, they're energetic, they like to get the ball down and play. We know we're going to be in for a tough game. They are, like I say, they are very energetic. They will non-stop work hard for 90 minutes. They like to counter-attack. They've got some very quick players. They can counter-attack. They basically, to say they're a B-Tech us it seems very harsh on them, but there are similarities between us and them. I think we have the better quality of players, and that doesn't necessarily call them a B-Tech us, and that would be horrible to say. I just mentioned it because, you know, maybe a few people out there may be thinking it. But I do like Bournemouth. I like Eddie Howe. I like the way that he plays. I just don't see them winning this game, and I swear, and I hope they don't. As far as key players to look out for, Asmir Begovic is going to be the goalkeeper. We all know about him from his time at Stoke and Chelsea. Further up the pitch, you obviously got Nathan Ake in defence, who seems to turn up against the big clubs. He always seems to put in that extra little bit of hard work against the big clubs. I think Chelsea found that out this season. Tottenham, I think it was Tottenham. I think he also played very well there as well. And he has played it well against us in the past. So, you know, expect Nathan Ake to probably play very well and probably be stuck with marking Roberto Firmino. But other than that, further up the pitch, you look at the likes of Josh King, Callum Wilson. They're the two obvious standouts. But young David Brooks as well. He's really come to form this season. He looks a decent player. Very good on the ball. Calm, collected for a youngster. He looks like a decent player, so he's another one to look out for this year. But like I said, I still think that we should and we probably will win this game. And you look at it and you think, well, we kick off the Premier League weekend. This game kicks off the Premier League weekend. City are obviously in action on the same day, but they've got a slightly more tougher test in Chelsea. Now, there's a few factors to this. A, Chelsea did lose to Wolves on Wednesday. So you're thinking, well, you can either look at it two ways. You can either say, well, if Chelsea lost to Wolves, then City should find this no problem. But I look at it and think Chelsea will be wanting a response here. Chelsea will be wanting revenge or redemption from their loss, so they will probably go out and put in a little bit extra more effort into beating City. They'll also want to close the gap on City because it could extend to 13 points. You also look at, well, Liverpool, if they win this game against Bournemouth, will be top of the table, and it'll be like the first time really that this has happened since I think since when City dropped points at the beginning of the season against Wolves, and then obviously they made them up because Liverpool had 2 draws against Chelsea and City in quick succession. Like, this will be the first time since that kind of time where Liverpool have set the tempo or set the pace kind of thing, where now it's time for City to see if they can match us. So that could throw a little bit of extra pressure City's way, especially with it being a bigger game, because Bournemouth are tough opposition, don't get me wrong, very tough opposition, but would you rather be facing Chelsea or Bournemouth this weekend? Granted, it is Bournemouth at home, so it does add a little bit of extra spice to it, but I think out of the two, you may want to face Bournemouth, because whenever you face Chelsea, their players seem stepping up against Liverpool. I think of like David Luiz, who stepped it up big time against Liverpool in their 2 games that he played in, and yeah, he just frustrates me. He stepped in the Premier League game, especially. David Luiz stepped it up big time, and then he goes on to other clubs and he makes stupid mistakes. And I just think, why couldn't you do that against us? A bit like Joe Hart this week. Joe Hart made a few great saves to deny us from scoring even more goals, but then he'll probably let in like a P-roller next week. So it frustrates me that some players save their best performances against Liverpool, but I'm not going to turn into one of them moaning people. I'm just going to slightly point it out there as a little bit of a jab, but not properly go with it. But like I say, Bournemouth got some decent players. We should be winning this game, and like I say, the City result, we kind of have the chance now to put a little bit of pressure on City, make it count, and we're good, because we can only do as well as City right now. We can only match City or better City, if that is possible, until we face them again. And then when we do face them again, which is around New Year, we have to win that game, but of course that will be later down the line. We'll focus more into that later down the line when that happens. You also think that... I also think that Klopp's message for this game will probably be get the job done as soon as possible. I honestly do think that Klopp will be wanting... He'll be wanting to try and put as much into the Napoli game on Tuesday as possible. I think he would have liked the Champions League to be over and done with by now and say, yep, Liverpool are safely through. There's no need to put a lot of pressure into this game, especially considering this is A, busy period already, and B, you've got Manchester United on the horizon. But of course things didn't work out that way because our away form in the Champions League has been extremely poor. But regardless, I think that Klopp's message will basically be try and get the game done by the hour mark, and then we'll take off some of the big players for that little bit of extra rest that they can gain ahead of that game, and then they can just go out against Napoli and hopefully pull off another incredible night at Anfield. Which brings me to my team selection then. I think to combat... I mean, there's one, or I would say that next. Like, there is obviously going to be one notable absence from this, and it's the unfortunate news that Joe Gomez has fractured his lower leg and is out for 6 weeks. It couldn't have happened at a worse time. It couldn't have happened to such a key player as well. Like, he has been phenomenal this season. Like, him alongside Van Dijk, the partnership was incredible. I don't deny that Lovren can come in for 6 weeks, or I think it's gonna be Matip for like a couple of weeks, and then probably Lovren when he's back from his whatever it is, because he hasn't been in the team for the past couple of games. But I don't deny that Ivor will do a good job. I just annoys me that he was doing so well, and he was probably one of our most consistent players this season alongside Wijnaldum, alongside Van Dijk, and that says a lot because Van Dijk you'd probably expect to be a consistent performer, but Gomez, Wijnaldum to be consistent performances. Like, Wijnaldum was pretty much out the door in the summer, and he came back and he's proper took his chance this season. And Gomez was sort of chopping and changing with Trent Alexander-Arnold last season at right back, and we didn't know whether that was going to be a thing or whether he was actually going to be played more as a centre-back. But then obviously with Lovren's kind of injury problems, he got moved to a centre-back and he really took his chance as well. So fair play to him, and it's just so unfortunate for Gomez, and I'm really, really gutted for him. But we have to move on. We have to see how well this does. I wasn't too crazy about Matip on Wednesday night, got to admit. But right now, I think he's probably the only thing we've got, isn't it? Because I don't know what's happened with Lovren, but he wasn't in the matchday squad for the past couple of games. Don't know whether something's up with that or not. But this is the team I expect for Liverpool to play. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson. You standard back five for, well, I mean, with the exception of probably Matic, who, if we have Lovren over him, that's probably his standard back five for if Gomez isn't fit already. And then I think in midfield, he's going to have to go with Fabinho. I think the whole reason why he didn't play him on Wednesday was because Fabinho was playing for this game. I think we'll need Fabinho's energy. I think we'll need his no-nonsense in midfield. I think we'll need him to just put a foot in, keep control of the ball, especially if it's if Bournemouth play their high-tempo game. We'll need someone to kind of put their foot in a little bit and dictate the play, dictate the tempo. And then obviously Wijnaldum next to him, he'll be the ball carrier and start the attacks. You can just give the ball to Wijnaldum, and Wijnaldum can just feed the ball into the likes of Robertson and Trent, and we can go from there. He's going to need someone who can put their foot in, kind of thing. like I say, I'm never too crazy when he plays Henderson and Milner in the same squad. Wasn't too crazy about it on Wednesday, but I don't expect him to do that here. Milner could be an exception. He could play in the midfield, but I would expect Klopp to either go with Shaqiri or Keita. Now, I would think Shaqiri gets the edge over Keita in this game. Whether that's the right choice or not, I'm not sure. I do like them both, of course. I'm not really sure that Klopp wants to play them both in the same squad unless Shaqiri is as a winger. I think going through the middle, I mean, of course, again, if he is playing Fabinho, he does like to play with Fabinho in the 4-2-3-1, so I guess that Shaqiri could be on the right, Salah could be up front, Mane left, and Firmino as a number 10. That could also work. You've got that kind of rotation thing there going on. So I think Shaqiri probably gets the edge over Keita. But if he wants to go for the 3 in the midfield, then I would expect Keita to play instead. Again, it's the same old thing that we had at Liverpool this season, where we can guess pretty much 10 of the 11 players, but we can't really make a strong enough prediction of who that third interior is going to be, because we have that rotatable option. And, you know, it's kind of a good selection headache to have in many respects. Not good if you're a fantasy football manager, of course, though, and you've got one of them players in there. But you know, it's a good thing to have, and it gives us plenty of options. And of course, when Oxlade-Chamberlain gets back fit, he will also be another player to add into that sort of selection headache, which will be good for Klopp and everybody else involved. And of course, up front, like I said, if it is going to be Shaqiri, well, I think even if it isn't going to be Shaqiri, your forward 3 are going to be Salah, Mane and Firmino in some sort of formation up front, whether, like I say, Salah goes up front, Mane goes on the left, Firmino just as number 10, or whether it's actually going to be Salah right, Mane left, Firmino through the middle. I don't know which one he will choose. I would expect that he may go with Salah up front. Like I say, I am putting more. I'm putting more of a. If I was going to be a betting person, I'd put more money on probably Shaqiri starting ahead of Keita and them doing the 4-2-3-1 with Shaqiri on the right. But at the same time, I'm not entirely confident with that. That's just how I see things going. Like I say, Fabinho will have to step in, be the platform to build upon, especially to dictate the tempo of the game, especially if Bournemouth just start to pick their game up a little bit and pick the tempo up a little bit. Robertson bombing down the left, Trent bombing down the right, Mane cutting inside, being a constant threat to their centre-backs. Firmino, free roll. Hopefully his link-up play is better. Hopefully that goal midweek will kind of settle him down a little bit, and hopefully it will get him playing to how we know he can be. And apart from that, everyone's roles just basically the same, and I'm just hoping, like I say, that we get a decent performance, a much better performance, and probably, hopefully, get the game done by around about the hour mark, maybe just after, and then bring off a couple of players just for that extra little bit of rest just ahead of Napoli for what is going to be an immense and intense game of football. My prediction is going to be... I don't know whether to go 2-1 or 3-1. I think I'll play it safe and go 2-1 Liverpool. I can see Bournemouth scoring, whether it's through like Callum Wilson or some sort of penalty appeal, or maybe even Nathan Ake from a set piece, because that seems to happen against us. And for us, I can see Salah scoring and Firmino scoring as well. Both, like I say, both need to find their shooting boots for Napoli. Firmino, hopefully, like I say, his goal on Wednesday may prove to be the catalyst that kickstarts his season. As for Salah, supposedly having a horrible season, but yet is one of the top goal scorers in the league. So you know, make of that what you will. Completely ridiculous. And I will say as well, suddenly all the Eden Hazard is the best Premier League player talk has gone right downhill since his performances have also dropped. But don't worry, when he starts scoring a couple of goals against like lower league opposition in consecutive matches, don't worry, the talk of Eden Hazard being the best Premier League player will go up again until, you know, he then misses a couple of games and through not playing very well, and then it will die down again until it picks up again. He's just a yo-yo of good and bad. But yeah, he's supposedly the best player in the Premier League. I don't get it. Anyway, that was my sort of rant and ramble out the way. Like I say, 2-1 Liverpool. I expect Bournemouth to be very, very tough opposition for us, but I think we will get the victory nonetheless. Remain unbeaten. Put a little bit of pressure on Manchester City, although I'm not really expecting Chelsea to do us a favour there. I'm expecting Chelsea to lose. So it may put a little bit of pressure on them, but in the end I think City are too good for Chelsea. And it's really going to be a case of either we're going to have to be the ones to take points from them and then go undefeated all season, or what's going to happen is that one of us along the way are going to lose points to a team that we're not meant to be losing points against, and hopefully that doesn't happen this weekend against Bournemouth, because we should win this game. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you have any thoughts or opinions on any of the points I raised, whether it's about Bournemouth, whether it's about the team news, whether it's about predictions, scorers, that kind of thing, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts and opinions. Love to read them. Hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, that kind of thing. And yeah, enjoy the game on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. We're kicking off the Premier League weekend. It should be a great and interesting tie ahead. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I've been Fletch, this has been another Talking Red video, and I will see you all again soon, and speak with you all again soon in another video.